Welcome to 19 Miles, the podcast dedicated to propelling you 19 miles forward. I'm Stellah, your host, and each week we deep dive into powerful stories, my unsolicited advice, and how you can overcome adversity and unlock your true potential. Hello, you guys. You're probably wondering, what is going on? What are you doing here? Well, let me just explain. So basically, I have been wanting to, start a YouTube or some kind of platform where I can post longer form content. I wasn't quite sure where to do it, if I could just do it in milestones or where I should do that. But I just have so much to talk about in terms of self-development, healing, all of that kind of stuff. For those that follow me on Instagram and that have been following along the last year, I guess I've really taken a deep dive into that. You would know I am very passionate about sharing it with everyone else. So yeah, I didn't know where to put it, but I've decided to, I guess, make a podcast for me to, share all of that content with you guys. And we will see. I'm just kind of winging it. I really don't have much of a plan. So hopefully it all works out. I don't really know what I'm doing. Okay, so in this episode, I want to, on the theme of self-development, a very common theme I hear with clients is where do I start? Or it's the whole self-development thing. We hear so many things, and I remember when I started my journey, I was quite overwhelmed with where do I start? What does inner child work mean? What does shadow work mean? All of that kind of stuff. And honestly, those things are great, but where does one start when they have no idea what they're doing? Because I feel like that's a lot of us. And well, I'm going to tell you what I would do if I were to start my self-development journey again. So, where did my self-development journey begin? One might ask. For those that know me, you're probably aware that I'm a bit of an oversharer. There is almost nothing I wouldn't tell. If I could just tell everybody everything, I would, but I've come to learn that can bite you in the bum, and you can't actually trust everybody you talk to. So we're learning. So yeah, basically on social media, I've always been, and in my life, I've been very open and transparent about my life and journey and showing the highs and the lows and all of that. So it's not new to me, working on yourself and that kind of side of things. But I guess the pivotal point or the turning point for me in really taking a deep dive into my healing and self-development journey was, firstly, when my brother passed away, that was last year. That led me to a place where I just honestly felt like I was a bottle that had been cramming more and more and more and more shit into it. And the lid was just getting ready to explode. And when that happened, I was just I'm done. I've got nothing left in the tank to keep going. And so yeah, it was that point that I decided to start seeing a psychologist. It was always I feel quite fortunate to, mum always growing up was very encouraging of talking to a psychologist if we ever wanted, the opportunity or that resource was always available to us if we wanted to. I personally never felt I just never felt comfortable in doing that. But yeah, when that happened, I was nah, I need help. And for the first time in my life, my mum was somebody that I would always go to, but I was this isn't fair for her to have to go through this and then support. I say that, but if I was a mum and I was her, of course I would want to support my kids as well going through that. But I was just I think I feel actually more comfortable talking to somebody removed that, isn't also processing this. So that happened. And then a few months later, I found out that I had been cheated on in my relationship, and that broke down. So my environment was not healthy. the relationship I was in was not healthy, and I found myself in a really dark place. But yeah, I guess ultimately it was those events that pushed me into a deep dive into this journey of healing and self-development. So initially I was, fed up and just like, this is so fucking unfair. How have I been handed so much adversity? Like, why me? But I guess outward, I was very optimistic and like, I don't know, I've always been a very optimistic person and tried to stay positive and see the lessons and the silver lining and everything. So I guess on the outside, I would have seemed like that, but internally, just like anyone, I guess, I was battling as well and just feeling like, what the fuck, this is so unfair. And then one of my friends, actually, Jeremiah, he gave me a book to read on, it was called Hero on a Mission. And essentially the book outlines the difference between a victim mentality, villain mentality, hero, and some people who go on to eventuate into a guide mentality. And it was that book that I realized that I was kind of switching between this like victim mentality and a hero mentality. And I knew to my core, I was sitting more in a hero mentality, but I still had moments where I was just like, this is so unfair. And don't get me wrong, it is unfair. There's nothing fair about having a family member pass away or being cheated on. That those things aren't fair, but what can you do to take the best out of those situations and become the best version of you and use those things to make you grow and like push you forward, because ultimately they can. I'm living proof of it. Moving forward. So, where would I start if I was to start again? First of all, you are the product of the 5 people you surround yourself with most. You are the product of your environment. I talk about this a lot with clients. And I think a lot of people misunderstand this saying in that they think it's like your 5 friends or like your mum, your sister, or those kind of things, right? And one that's like very often undermined is social media. Social media is so subconsciously consumed every single day. What are you consuming? Because if it's some like malnourished model, no offense, and you're sitting there comparing yourself every single day to that girl, that's going to negatively affect you. You know, like make sure that the content that you're consuming is having a positive and productive effect on you. So that is where I would start. Have a look around, do a little evaluation. What are you consuming? Are you consuming things that are productive for you? I would find people that inspire you and motivate you and are a healthy influence on you and moving you forward. There are so many people that are like this. Pick your passions. Mine would be like business, self-development, fitness, health, whatever it is for you. It might be fashion, it might be cooking, it might be cleaning, whatever your passions are. Pick them and find creators that specialize in those industries and follow them. And then go through, and I want you to do a cleanse. Like, you're just gonna be brutally honest, unfollow or mute. You can literally mute people these days, which is essentially the same thing as unfollowing someone, just without the little fuck you. Just mute every single person that makes you feel triggered. Get rid of those distractions. It is 2024. No more doing anything that is detrimental to you and your well-being. So do a big cleanse. Off the back of that, there are so many people who obviously work in the self-development industry, coaches, psychologists, so many people. There's people who have shared their stories about overcoming adversity, or people have written books, blah, 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 blah. All of those people are on social media. And I promise you, every single person who can help propel you forward or work on your self-development has got free resources out there. Utilize them. That is what they're there for. even if I just think about me as an example, I have a few resources available. I have an affirmations wallpaper set that you can like set as your background. I actually flick between them on my work phone, which I do not have on me. Otherwise, I would show you. But I have that available. You literally just click the link in my bio, fill out a form, and then it gets emailed, sent over to you. And then I also have a Hot Girl Affirmations like morning thing, which is just a bunch of affirmations that is available for anybody to read. But there are so many like influencers, if you wish, who or people in the self-development industry that offer free resources. So yeah, utilize free resources. I think the other thing that we forget is like podcasts, books, all of that kind of stuff. Listen, like find your favorite people within the industry that you're like wanting to develop in, and listen, like see if they've got a podcast. Go and listen to their podcast. Like, do they have a book? Read their book. You will slowly like I think once you step into this world of healing and that kind of thing, so many more things just come to you, and you step into a place where you're attracting that kind of energy back. Next thing I would do is start moving your body. If you are not moving your body in 2024, you must be, but take it seriously. Do it every single day. I don't care what it is. I don't care if you're doing handstands in the backyard. Move your body. It costs you nothing to go for a walk. It costs you nothing to stretch on the floor, to pull out a mat and look up a YouTube video that's Pilates. I don't care what it is. Move your body. There are no excuses. You cannot tell me that you don't have 30 minutes in a day. Like, go and look at your screen time and then come back to me and tell me that you don't have 30 minutes to move your body in a day. Like, there are no excuses. If your standards for yourself, you can't even work out or move your body for yourself, I don't know what the hell you're expecting from in life, but you got to raise the bar, girl. Raise it. So yeah, sorry. I get a little bit passionate about that. I've actually just come back from the gym, so maybe that's why we're feeling a bit. That will not only improve your mental health, your well-being, your physical health, just everything. Just do it. And then also, I think when you look good, you also feel good. So like it just manifests and attracts all this like good shit. Just do it, okay? Beat the sun up. Go and watch the sunrise. Go on, like you can integrate that into your normal movement. Wake up before the sun. So many benefits. You know what? I might do another episode on talking about those benefits. But anyway, and then another thing that you could do, which also costs you nothing, is start meditating. This was so daunting for me to start. Not gonna lie, I was like, I can't do this. I cannot sit still with my mind, my thoughts for like an hour. Sorry, no. But wrong. And if you're in my broadcast channel, you would have actually heard me talk about this. But I have a hack for meditating. I go on YouTube and I look up 5-minute guided meditation for manifesting money, whatever it is. I do that, and I literally do like 2 to 5 minutes, sometimes 20 if I'm feeling ballsy, depends on the mood. But I will do those and love. Next thing I would recommend is affirmations. Again, if you're on my social media, on my broadcast channel, or any of my clients, you will have heard me talk about affirmations so many times. It is, again, free and so powerful and effective. So I would do that. I have those free resources on affirmations if you need help or some kind of like entry way into affirmations, but seriously, they have changed my life. Next thing I would say is, what are you grateful for? Think about if you're living a life where you're focusing on all the negatives in your life and you're not grateful for the things that you do have, how can you expect to be attracting more good? You're going to continue to attract negative if you're focusing on the negatives. So you need to shift the mindset, because we are our thoughts. Our thoughts create and manifest our reality. So be freaking grateful. I promise you, there's something to be grateful for. Whether it's the sun rising, like a roof over your head, being able to drink clean water, like there is something, I promise you. And some days they are small. Those gratefuls, like some days it's going to be, I'm grateful for my little pink teddy. If you're watching, then you would see what I'm talking about. But if you're just listening, then I have a pink teddy in front of me. Anyways, next thing would be, education, listen to podcasts, books, that kind of thing. So, guys, I have been rambling for so long. If I was to start again, those are the things I would do. I hope this episode has sounded okay, because I didn't really have too much of a plan. So, anyways, thanks for listening to my first episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you liked this episode, please, I don't know what platform this is even going to be going on to, but I know that will definitely be on Spotify. So if you're listening on Spotify, please subscribe, rate my podcast, and I will see you guys in next week's episode. I hope you enjoyed. Bye.